Sir Bobby Robson christened St James's Park the Cathedral on the Hill, and he wasn't wrong.
Eddie Howe is the new manager at Newcastle.
Another full house tonight. Eddie Howe's black and white army.
A football city like no other.
A hard-earned lead.
This has taken the roof off St James's Park.
They have found some belief.
An exceptional campaign under Eddie Howe.
Absolute bedlam at St James's Park.
Newcastle are in the Champions League. They've gone from zeros to heroes.
Newcastle flex their muscle.
They've had a fantastic season, and I don't think they'll stop here.
What a 2 years it has been at Newcastle United under Eddie Howe, the transformation there for all to see. I just wonder, Jacob, the obvious question is how has he done it? But when he first came in and his coaching staff, was there a big change from a player's point of view on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, well, he come in and we were met with real leadership. You know, you see a leader and you want to follow him. You know, his relentless work ethic, I think that rubbed off on everyone straight away. We saw the detail that he would go into to get every little minuscule detail right in training to give us the best opportunity going out onto the field. So yeah, you know, we had a new philosophy. Everyone bought into it, and yeah, when we started bearing fruit on the pitch, that's when everyone really started believing the process, and then yeah, we haven't looked back since.
No, and you were 19th when you walked through the door, and you ended up 4th. I mean, at some stage, even from a player's point of view, you must have thought that's not possible. Just staying up was the first thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, first and foremost, it was like, yeah, come on, let's stay up. But we began to believe. I think we were starved of that for quite a while. And then, yeah, Eddie come in. I spoke about his leadership. He leads you into battle, and you want to give everything because he gives so much to us. We want to repay him. So yeah, it goes hand in hand. And come match day at work.
It actually didn't come as that much of a surprise to some of us, because when he was out of the game in between the two jobs, he spent a lot of time sitting where you're sitting now with us, and we did many a show with him, Tim, didn't we? Yeah. And you'd say, "What have you done this week, Eddie?" "I've been to Barcelona to watch training for 4 days.
Yeah,
I've been to Ajax."
I mean, I played with Eddie at Portsmouth. He didn't play an awful lot, and he got injured very early. So he learnt the game. He went and he schooled himself. And even when he had that short period out, he was travelling around, watching other coaches, just picking little detail up here, there and everywhere. And he's adapted it to this group of players. I mean, everyone wants to be part of what's happening at Newcastle now. And that group of players, and we always said, they can't change them all. You know, as much as people were saying, well, they must spend the money and going to bring this superstar in, that one. It's not materialised. It's not materialised because of him, because he gives people a chance to perform and buy into his ideas. And I think, like the man sitting here, Jacob is example of that. You know, he's almost changed your game, isn't he? He's given you that confidence to go and play, and he's given the platform and the belief and the cuddle when he needs it. And all of a sudden, he's helped them because they're playing in an environment, and you boys know it better than any of us, it was very difficult. When you're not winning at St James's Park and the expectancy is there, so all of a sudden winning a few games and the expectancy is great. Now you're playing in front of you've got a 12th man there and the fans. I mean, he's give you that belief because of the results, and you guys have worked hard and bought into it. He must be the greatest manager you've ever worked with, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, easy.
Give us an insight into what he's like inside the training ground and on the training ground, because when we see you on a weekend or in midweek at St James's Park or wherever, it's pretty relentless. It's everything about your game is about fitness, about structure, and about pressing, and everyone being at it. Is he like that? Is he demanding like that in training as well?
Yeah. So everything that we do stems from the work that we do on the training field.
Right.
So yeah, you know, everything he does, we carry out because we want to be in the team. Mm-hmm. And if you're not doing your job, you're not going to play. It's as simple as that. But he's given everyone a platform to really go out there and have successful careers, play in successful teams. So yeah, once you're out there, you just want to deliver everything that he's...
So basically, there's no day off. You have to be at it every single day in training, and it's that relentless.
it's that relentless.
Good.
Does he take the most of the bulk of the training, or what does Tyndall do? And
So Jace will tend to do a lot of defending work when we're lining up in our blocks, our low block shape. Jace will go over quite a lot of that. And then Gaffer then tends to do a lot of the high pressing work with us. So.
When would that be? Like on a Thursday before a Saturday game, he would take the 11, would he?
Yeah, so it's mixed in, but, there's a lot of... It is boring, but it's repetitive stuff, so that when it comes to game day, okay, the ball's in this area, everybody knows you need to be in that position, you need to be in that position. So, a lot of, repetitive boring little bits of training, which he chucks in all through the week, but it's needed because when it comes game day, it's it's second nature and we know what we're doing.
And does he back it up with a TV, with a visual for you guys from previous matches?
Yeah. So, and he gathers a lot of data from previous matches, clips from other teams successfully doing something that we want to implement. So tactically, he's got all the visuals for us.
How much of the time would be on you or the opposition?
Most is on us, how we're going to play, how we're going to exploit their weaknesses, and then we'll touch on them, game to game. We might tweak our press, stuff like that. But it's about us and not the other team.
Would that be a contrast to previous managers?
Yeah,
Don't need to name any names. He's going for you here. What about his man management side? Because he's a real people's person as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great. Everything is very personal and individual to each player, and I think the individuality of how we talks with every player, I think that resonates really strongly with everybody. You deal with me different to how you might deal with someone else, and I think the boys appreciate that.
Alan, we've said this many times. Some people watching this might not still appreciate what a unique footballing city Newcastle is, and it's fair to say they've had a few managers who haven't appreciated that and haven't bought into it.
Yeah.
Eddie did that from day one, didn't he? He appreciated the size of the club, the city, moved there straight away, immersed himself in Newcastle life.
I think you have to do that. It's really interesting listening to Jacob say about how he came in and sort of changed everything. As a manager, you've got to walk into a dressing room and you've probably got 3 or 4 weeks to get your ideas, who you are, get the respect straight away, because you're going to be judged. Whatever dressing room you're going to walk into, the players are going to look at you. Whatever you've done in the past, they're going to look at you and they're going to judge you and they're going to make an opinion on you. So you've got a couple of weeks to say, this is who I am, this is how I work, this is what I stand for, this is what I won't stand for, and everything else. And then you've got that. And then all of a sudden, if you can get that in the dressing room, then I've got a chance. And I think that's exactly what Eddie has done. So he's done that in terms of the dressing room. But what he's done off the pitch and getting a message across to the fans, I think is really important also. Who he is he going to live in the city? How's he going to talk and relate? Can he relate to what the fans understand and what the fans want? And I think he's been brilliant at all of those things. He's moved his family up there, which I think is really important, because he's setting the standard. If he doesn't do that, then he can't expect his players to do that. So I think he's sort of, right, I'm going to do that. I'm bringing everyone up with me, and I want and expect all the players to do exactly the same. And he's got the area. He understands the area, understands what the people want. And I think he knows that if he gets a group of players, particularly where they were to where they are now, and I think he's probably surprised at the size of the jump in the amount of time. I think we all thought that Newcastle would get there, but not within 2 years, maybe 4 or 5 years. But because they've gone from here right up to here in such a small amount of time, tells you how impressive he's been, not only on the players, and the atmosphere in the stadium also tells you how they're enjoying it. They've got their football back. There's a buzz in the city. Everything's alive. Players are looking forward to going to the stadium, I guess, because Tim's right. St James's Park, when it's right and when it's rocking, is an unbelievable place to play football.
I would love to have played there. Unfortunately, never got the opportunity. But I think it's always easy for a manager if you get results early. Never quite happened for Eddie when he first went there. I mean, was it Cambridge? You got beat in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone started asking questions then, but because he's so knowledgeable and he talks to them individually, and the message what he's putting across on the training field from Monday to Saturday, I think they believe it. They believe it, and all of a sudden they start getting results. Then you can, in the end, you can tell them whatever you want. Go and stand over there for 10 minutes on your head. I want you to do that, and they'll believe the manager. That's the right thing to do. And at the moment, he's got to meet him and eating out of your hands. I think that Eddie wants to be part of this project. He's got an opportunity to go somewhere and win something, and you can't say that for a lot of clubs in the Premier League. Certainly with Man City around, the juggernaut was Pep Guardiola. I just think that he feels if they invest in the right areas and he builds this team ethic with the support what they've got, there's a real opportunity to win something. I'm not sure he's going to get a better opportunity to win something domestically. I think he's a good international manager, I really do, for the future. But at the moment, he's never going to get a better chance than at Newcastle. He's at the right place, because I think at the moment it looks like they haven't got to have patience at the moment with him, because he's delivering. And I hope when he has a dip, which he will, if they show the patience and don't go out and chase that trophy manager was out there, because they don't work. Tottenham have shown you that. Tottenham go and bring Jose Mourinho in. They go and bring Conte in. It didn't guarantee nothing. All it guaranteed was mayhem. It won't happen at Newcastle. I think they need to look at what this man's all about, and he gives them that stability, and I think that's what they need.
And he got you into the Champions League, and as we've got you, I have to show this, because your reaction to the Champions League anthem, 7 million hits in 24 hours on social media. I mean, it's such a brilliant picture, Jacob. Does that basically sum up what it means to a Newcastle player and fan?
Yeah, I think because it was such a long time since we had been in the Champions League, and then for me, just my journey, it was a special moment. The music come on far too quickly for my liking. I wanted to stand there, steely look, hopefully get a good picture for Instagram. Then the music started, and I got goosebumps talking about it now.
Yeah.
Just instantly made me smile, and I realised my hard work has paid off, and I'm at the pinnacle of European elite football here.
From those pictures we showed and seeing Alan's goals to standing in the San Siro as a Newcastle player in the Champions League,
it's what you live for, and I'm proud of myself, the journey that I've been on, and a lot of people to thank along the way. One being Eddie, and how he changed everything around for quite a lot of us in that Newcastle team, because 2 years ago, Champions League, Newcastle, no one ever would have thought it, but here we are today, and we want it to stay here forever.
You can win it though.
What, the Champions League?
Yeah, not necessarily this year, but they can win it.
I was going to say they've got a final to play on Wednesday.
No, he got an opportunity, Jacob, and the rest of his teammates to win this competition in the next few years. I mean, look how far he's taken them up to now, Eddie. With the finances, what they've got, and they won't go and scattergun approach on their recruitment. If he selects correctly, they got every chance to win the Champions League. There's no outstanding teams in Europe. We're watching games every midweek. There's some bang average teams in it.
We're not greedy, no. We'll just take any trophy. It doesn't have to be the Champions League.
more immediately, Newcastle have won 9 of their 11 home games. You're talking about the atmosphere at St James's Park. I mean, what's that going to be like on Wednesday?
I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be. I've been to both Champions League games, PSG and Dortmund, and the PSG atmosphere was as good as I've known it for 20 odd years at St James's Park. It was electric, and Wednesday is going to be the same. I'm going to be there. The backing will be huge. So it'll just be a great night, a great atmosphere, and I'm sure the players will turn up and deliver again as they have done for the last 2 years. It's a happy place, and I mean, Jacob will tell you better than I do the job that the flags do at Newcastle. They create a great atmosphere, and when you're walking up the tunnel, you can hear the noise, and it's getting louder and louder. It's an awful good feeling.
What's it like
when you're walking out?
You can just see the alignment from the boardroom to the management, the fans, and then the boys on the pitch. Everyone's pulling in the right direction, and we're only going one way at the moment, which is amazing. And our job now is to keep it sustainable.
Just a quick one on today. They're trying to beat Spurs for the 3rd game in a row. It'd be remiss of us not to mention last year's fixture at St James's Park, because someone got 2 goals in that incredible performance, didn't you? What a day this was.
What a day. It was one of the most bizarre games, that's for sure. 5 up in 20 minutes. It was amazing. But we always say start fast at home and, you know, we'll blow teams out the water immediately. And lovely assist from Fabi Shah there.
Nice strike.
That's iconic as well.
Could you quite believe that got in?
It was. It wasn't about the strike. It was about that we were. I think that was 3 by 9 minutes. So it was kind of like, wow. And at the time, us and Tottenham, I think there was only a point in it or something. So us winning that game, we would have leapfrogged them. And yeah, that's kind of the last final stretch for us last season to secure Champions League.
Absolutely. Lots more Newcastle and Tottenham chat.